All right, welcome to We Will Rank You, the podcast where we take an album and we rank all of the songs on that album from best to worst. Let's meet who we've got in the studio, the combined 4 home studios. It's our usual set. We've got Sam. Say hello, Sam.
Hello, I'm in Colorado, and I am 6'2", and I'm a Leo.
Oh, wow. Sounding like a dating intro. Jim, what's your dating bio?
Oh my God! I think I'm an Aries. And I am Jim, and I was born in 1971.
Nice. And Adam.
I am a Verge Overkill, and I'm the only unmarried one here. So if you are considering any actual dating options, don't tell my girlfriend, and send all responses to wewillrankyoupod@gmail.com. Subject, Sam, Jim, and Dan, please don't read this.
The inbound mail is going to change dramatically. And I'm Dan.
Hi, Dan.
And I like long walks on short piers. Okay, so tonight we're doing a twist on the general podcast that we've done to date. It's something that I'm calling the EM MIXTAPE, because a lot of our albums have been in the 80s, so it feels like mixtape is the right analog. And this is where, instead of ranking a single album's tracks from worst to best, we instead rank a set of tracks united by a common theme. That theme is selected by whomever is the host. It's something I desperately hope we do again, because I think it's a lot of fun to mix it up every once in a while and not just do a single album. And this
Agreed.
time out, excellent, thank you. This time out, the theme is songs that were released in the year 1980. That's it. This list is not necessarily the 10 best songs. I didn't try to cover every single genre. I've read this list to a bunch of people along the way to see their reactions. They're like, but you didn't include anything by this. That's not the idea. It's just meant to take a snapshot of the year without overthinking it.
You're playing God, Dan. You're playing God. You're choosing 10
You
songs.
bet I am. You bet I am. That's the host's
Can't
initiative.
handle the truth.
I was waiting to hear if there was some deeper meaning behind your choices.
There were not. I really tried not to make this like over dramatic. I wanted there to be a lot of different sounding songs. I didn't want some of the blockbusters. I also didn't want super obscure, and I didn't want the bands that I know are like our all-time favorites, and it's just not going to be dramatic. So those were some things I thought about.
Okay.
We'll get into the songs in a minute, but I want to set the stage by taking you back to the year 1980. Here's a couple of things that happened in 1980. January 1st, 1980, the comic strip The Far Side debuts in newspapers.
Oh, genius.
Wow.
Nice.
I had no idea it was that old. The United States Olympic hockey team defeats the Soviet Union for the Miracle on Ice.
USA.
Thank you. The organization Mothers Against Drunk Driving was formed in 1980.
That I didn't know was that
Mount
old.
St. Helens erupts. We all remember that.
Mm-hmm.
First use of the term yuppie. CNN is officially launched. This one I remember vividly, which is comedian Richard Pryor badly burns himself trying to freebase cocaine.
Were
Somehow
you there?
Well, when you're in the room, you kind of tend to remember things.
Yeah, what a visual.
Richard was supposed to be babysitting me then. That's just one of those things, like all those dangerous things when you're a 9-year-old kid, like cocaine, being on fire, famous people. Dallas aired their Who Shot JR event, which became like an obsession. Empire Strikes Back is released.
Yes,
And one day later, a little game called Pac-Man is released.
Nice.
Wow.
Coincidence?
Not only
I
Pac-Man,
think
not only Pac-Man comes from 1980, but so does Rubik's Cube. So two things that you always see connected with the entire 80s came out right in the middle of
Dang.
1980. The Post-it is introduced.
The
Way to
what?
go
That's
3M.
the Post-it.
Didn't someone
Post-it?
famous's dad invent that? Or was that on some TV
Mike
show?
Nesbitt.
No, that was Whiteout.
From the
That sounds
Monkees.
like a TV
Joan
show.
Osborne?
Yeah.
I don't know. If
I don't
you
know.
should-
I'm
okay,
just
you're just making
I
that
don't know,
saying
statement.
names.
Gary.
And
Go ahead.
we'll end on a tragic one. John Lennon shot and killed
Yeah.
in 1980.
Yeah. Way to go. Way to bring the room down.
I can tell you
Anyways.
that story, but
Yeah.
never mind.
Yeah. No. We don't want to bring this
Please
thing down.
don't.
Different episode.
So with
Well,
no.
okay. So Gary Larson also used to babysit. Bringing up babysitting, Gary Larson babysat the two daughters of Bruce Belland, who was like some 50s star, and they went on to become Voices of the Beehive. You remember that
Yeah.
band?
Whoa, yes.
Mhm.
Gary
yes.
Larson was their babysitter.
What? That's random.
That's pretty amazing. And a lot of Gary Larson's characters wore beehive hairdos.
haircuts.
That is
That's
true.
right.
Coincidence?
That's
I
right.
think not. Again.
Yeah. Wow.
Well
1980 was a conspiracy-rich year. Here are the 10 songs we're going to discuss. I want to read them out ahead of time so that people listening at home can stop, argue amongst themselves, decide kind of what they would rank. Because when we name an album, you know all of the nominees, but in this case, you don't. So these are the 10 read in alphabetical order by song name so that we're not giving anything away. It's Call Me by Blondie, Crazy Little Thing Called Love by Queen, Funkytown by Lips Inc., Once in a Lifetime by Talking Heads, Pulling Mussels from the Shell by Squeeze, Train in Vain, parentheses, Stand By Me by The Clash, Whip It by Devo, You Make My Dreams, parentheses, Come True by Daryl Hall and John Oates,
And parentheses after Oates.
You Shook Me All Night Long by AC/DC, and 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton.
Oh, that's controversial, putting that number at the end. Ooh.
I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I think the number
I hear
belongs
ya.
at the beginning. But
I hear.
anyway.
Of course, we would argue about that also.
Yeah.
That's
Let's take
perfect.
10 minutes to argue about that.
Those are the 10, gentlemen. Start your engines.
Started.
And I will admit, I did not think about order ahead of time. So I'm going to make an executive decision here. We're going to go Sam, Adam, Jim, me. Sam, Adam, Jim, me, and Sam. Oh, and we're doing it from least favorite to favorite. Each person goes with their number 10 to start, just to kind of lay out the rules. So let's go to Sam with our number 10. And as each of you talk about your number 10, why don't you also just paint the picture for us of where you were musically in the year 1980 as well?
So for me, I came from Los Angeles. I'd moved to a small mountain town in Colorado. And so we were on the other side of the hill from Denver, so we could not get FM stations. They sounded like garbage. So like AM radio was where it was at for me. So if you want to know like the popular songs from 1980, like it's just that middle of the road radio, I was right there. So, you know, just looking at the top list, Call Me, Another Brick in the Wall, Magic, Rock With You, Do That To Me One More Time. Like I knew all of them because they're all just like tepid radio, whatever. And so, yeah, so I knew the popular songs. My dad listened to country, so I knew a bunch of the country stuff. But, you know, so maybe like some of the more, I was going to say some of the more rock ones I didn't know, but I did. So, and speaking of rock, my number 10 is Crazy Little Thing Called Love.
Wow.
Which I will give you a little bit of shit, Dan, because you said that all of these songs were released in 1980. That's actually not true. There were a couple that were released in 81. Crazy Little Thing Called Love was released at the end of 79. It's just a technicality. It's not a big deal. It's your podcast.
I think everything that was released in 79 became a hit in 80. And everything, there are songs that were a hit in 81 that were released in 80. Because I saw that too. And as I was looking them up, I'm like,
Oh my God, you guys do
Well,
research.
but
it's understandable.
I just
So,
trust
but part
the
of the
host.
thing is though, is like You Make My Dreams was released in May 1981. I was in Denver, Colorado. They weren't playing stuff that wasn't released. If it wasn't a single, like a released single, they weren't playing it. So I
Guys,
didn't know about it.
Queen the Game is released June 30th, 1980 in the UK.
Right.
And by Elektra Records in the US.
Crazy
Thank you,
Little
Dan.
Thing Called Love, the single
I knew you were
was
right.
released.
I didn't necessarily say the single. I just said the
Song was released. Come on.
It's part of the 1980 musical fabric.
Number 10?
Yeah,
How
exactly.
Is that your number 10? Explain yourself.
Yeah, I don't want your smoke and mirrors. You're smoke and mirrors about release dates.
Because,
what the fuck are you doing?
But look over here. But look over here.
But the
everybody.
reason why is it's somewhat of a musical throwback because this was after a few years after Happy Days had been released, right? And there was like the big 50s. Sha Na Na had their show. So for me, it was like a little bit of that kind of a throwback. My parents were from Memphis, and so like I grew up on the 50s. So this song has that little throwback thing, but it just felt like a retread to me. It's got the little doo-wop sort of feel. It's a nice little ditty, but it's more popular than it is good. It's got good harmonies. They're not really in service of anything. If we were ranking the album, though, the album is great. But if I were ranking this song on the album, the song would still be at the bottom of that album.
Jesus Christ Almighty!
Boom!
Wow,
It's
so
that.
hard
Today,
for you to really relate Jim's convulsions audio-wise out there in podcast land.
Jesus
But
Christ, Adam, go fix this. Fix it, Adam.
Wait, hold on, Jim. I just learned that harmonies need to be in service
know.
of something. Don't you just go singing harmony if it's not in service of something.
It's not, but that's what I'm saying. Like listening to it, it's not just like, bam, it comes in, you're like, yeah. It's like, all right, I guess.
Oh boy.
Like, I mean, they're great at it. I'm not saying it's fucking Queen.
It's the same reason the Beatles never amounted to anything.
Right. See, you
Right,
get it.
exactly.
You get it, Dan.
see,
Thank you.
the problem here is that Sam is a year older than the other three of us. So for Dan, Jim, and I, we were finishing third grade and starting fourth grade. Sam was already so jaded at this point. So his opinions are going to be completely different from the rest of us. Personally, I had almost no concept of what popular music was. My mom and dad listened to a little bit of light rock, which was in San Diego was a station called KYXY.
Kixie.
And that's maybe the only current music I'd ever heard, ever. My dad brought home the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack 2 years before. That's it. I didn't know what any of it was until one day my friend Cleveland Wilson told me about an AM radio station called the Mighty 690. And if you grew up in San Diego, that's the station that you first listen to music. And I don't know if you can see, but I am sporting the Mighty 690 T-shirt today. I interned at 91X, which was in the same building as the Mighty 690 out of high school. And I was invited to a reunion, even though I was there for only 3 months. And when I came wearing this shirt, I was like a hero, basically.
Legend.
But you can get you can Google Mighty 690. They have a whole website of their merch, and it's great. Anyway, so yeah, Cleveland told me about this station, and all of a sudden, I was like, well, what do you mean? There's bands and they have hit songs. It was all just like a revelation to me. And funny enough, the two songs that I think of that I most when he first introduced it to me, one of them is my number 10. Mighty 690 used to print out these little pamphlets that they gave out at record stores and things like that, and it had the lyrics to one song and their top 40. And they were all over town, and I remember we used to collect them. I have never seen one since, but the two songs that I remember listening to most at first, or at least remembering being aware of, was Turning Japanese by the Vapors. And the other one is, I cannot believe I'm saying this, my number 10 song, which is maybe by my favorite band on this list, and that's Devo with Whip It. And I love this band. I love this album. Freedom of Choice is maybe in my top 5 of albums for the entire decade. But I've never really liked Whip It. I don't know what to... I know a part. Usually there's a part or two where I'm like, oh, well, that part's really cool. And I'm like, I have nothing. The video was fantastic because it's just so weird and makes no sense. And they're hanging out with cowboys. And I love that they insert themselves into ridiculous situations. But that doesn't mean that I love the song. So my number 10 is by my favorite band maybe on this list.
Wow.
It's because they didn't have any harmonies in service of anything. That's why you didn't like the song.
Good point. Good
Adam,
point.
I asked you to fix it and you didn't fix it. So I'll just, if you want something done, you got to do it yourself.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, the number 10 song is the only gimmick song on this list, which is 9 to 5. And I don't rate
Wow.
gimmick songs high. And it's a gimmick song. I'm like, okay, I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to take it seriously. You know, I love Dolly. I just, you know, I don't own any of her stuff, but I've heard a lot of it because my parents were, you know, we're from the South and grew up on a lot of it. And I was like, you know, I'm going to give it a chance. And then I hear the freaking typewriter clacks of the keyboards. And I'm like, yep, it's a gimmick song for a movie that I remember seeing and not understanding.
Sound effects are not in service of anything.
Exactly.
We're developing a very dogmatic list.
It's funny. It's funny. Can you hear the sound effects at the beginning of "Silly Love Songs" by Paul McCartney? You know there's a lot of sound effects that I love from the music I was listening to. So I was 9 years old in 1980, and "Silly Love Songs" is the song that I always associate with that entire decade of just growing up with my mom in the driver's seat and me in the riding shotgun going down the road. And this is in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I spent so many hours, you know, running errands with Mom. I was an only child, so it was, you know, a lot of time with her. Thank God, because she gave me such a good base of music. You know, we were listening to the Kixie version, but in Tulsa, whatever the Yacht Rock AM Gold radio station was, that's what I was listening to. And my mom always sang the harmony. She you know, from the church choirs that she grew up in, she was always keying on the harmony, and that's what's in my ear from that side of the car. And I got to sing the melody, of course, right? And we'd harmonize in the car, and it was just a great upbringing. I love it. So
Where's that album?
yeah, exactly. So
I want to hear the Cathcart duets.
so anyway, so that's where I was, and so, you know, Dolly it's not like, oh, it's country, or oh, it's Dolly, you know. No, it's just that song, and it's a gimmick song for a movie. It's definitely last place. I can't believe you guys don't have it there. Over to Dan.
Look, I'm just gonna say this is already going to be great. Look where we are already. This is amazing.
This is what Dan
everything
likes.
everything I hoped for with you guys. I like conflict, steaming conflict.
Me too.
Like Adam, I was a musical orphan, raised. My parents were of no use. We had one radio station in our house, and it was the classical station. I can't even tell you the name of it. So anything post 1900 not played in our house.
Wow.
Not real oldies.
So I had a lot of work to do. My parents had 2 albums that I plundered nonstop. It's all I listened to. I stared at their covers. It was Simon and Garfunkel, Bridge Over Troubled Water.
Nice.
A lot of troubling harmonies on that. And the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Wow, great.
Those were the 2.
Wow.
That was it.
That's good.
The rest was up to me. And then we discovered the Mighty 690, my sister and I. We were so obsessed with it that we would tape it, which is hilarious because it was still on.
Me too.
But you tape it to go back to certain
that's so
songs,
great.
right? And that whole thing. That was it. I bought 2 albums in it was probably more like 1981, used, and both of them have songs on this list. We'll get to that.
Ooh.
I'm glad there's
Amazingly.
some bias in there.
Yeah, I guess maybe there's a little bias. But speaking of being separated at birth with Adam as musical orphans, my number 10 is Whip It.
Good man.
Interesting.
I thought I'd be alone with this. What I wrote is, what do you do with Whip It? Like, I agree with you. I love Devo. This is just not their best song. It's just, it never sticks for me. A lot of their songs, Devo's a band that I'm always like, are you being serious? Are you having a laugh at our expense? Like, I'm not quite sure where you are on the
answer is
on
yes.
on the spectrum. Yeah, the answer is yes. But Whip It feels on the far end. Like, Whip It feels to me like it's Weird Al Yankovic parodying Kraftwerk. Like, I don't know what to make out of it. Anyways, I do like this song, but it's just not a favorite. And to your point, Adam, it's sort of like, I'm always happy to move on to the next Devo song.
Right. Well, I mean, to your question, what do you do with Whip It? You must whip
Yeah.
it.
And Whip It good.
All right.
He's right.
And there's actually a couple other things that have to, into shape, all of that. Sam, take us to number 9.
9 for me is possibly another surprise, or maybe not. Like, I can't, like, I have no pulse on this crowd.
It's all out the door now.
Yeah. But this was, I mean, for a lot of people, was probably the biggest song of the year. But I'll just say it. Call Me, Blondie. Like it's at number 9. The opening, like, come on, like, like, and then the driving the beat, just boom, tap, boom, and it's just you're in and you're locked in, and then it doesn't really go anywhere. So that's it. I mean, that's all I've got for Call Me.
Yeah.
Adam.
Fair.
I'm still stunned, just shocked and stunned. Number 9, I guess it's funny how 3 of my favorite bands all ended up at the bottom. Not to spoil too much, but my number 9 is "Once in a Lifetime" by Talking Heads. Another song by a band I love that I never really thought too much about. It's interesting how these songs basically fall into 3 categories as far as where I heard them first. Either Mighty 690, which was full on top 40, MTV, which I got maybe 2 years later, or 91X, which was the station that went new wave a year after that. And this is one that was definitely MTV. Like, they played this video a lot, and I would never really loved, liked, hated, just never had much of an opinion on it. The version that's in Stop Making Sense, I've always loved. And there's so much more drama to it, and watching them do it and the way it was filmed makes me love it, but that's not what we're grading here today. So that is my number 9.
I mean, it's amazing that you guys aren't shocking me anymore, but
only disappointing.
You're disappointing me. But,
I'm not shocked.
But I should be used to being disappointed on this. Number 9 is definitely the Taco Bell song.
Clearly,
it's the Taco Bell
song,
right? And I was like,
yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
And my daughter said, oh, that's that Taco Bell song. And what are you talking about? She goes, Taco Bell, Taco Bell, Taco Bell, talk about it.
Wow.
And I was like, really? That's about all I can say about this song. It is at every wedding that you grew up going to. You've heard it 1,000 times. It's the one thing when we were studying for this test tonight for this Zoom call. We had 10 tracks to listen to. It's the one. I'm such a good homework. I do my homework right. I'm such a good student, and you guys know that about me.
Student.
This is the one.
Diligent.
I mean, your attitude grade, you get a couple things there, but in terms of doing the work.
Anyway, this is the one I had to skip past because it was just I just couldn't do it anymore. I've heard this too many times in my life. I should have only heard it once in a lifetime. And on to you, damn. Horrible.
Great. My number 9, with not nearly as much venom, is Funkytown. I like Funkytown. I love the mixing of those like uber robotic verses and that synth riff. Like, somehow it's even more synthy than everything else. It's just so like nothing allowed outside of the boxes. But then you get to the chorus and you've got that guitar riff and the singer just lets loose, right? And like that part is magic. If the song could have been more chorus and less verse somehow, it definitely would have been higher. But I've got a soft spot for this. This was the one when I threw in that I was like, okay, this makes things weirder for sure. Plus, like, the dude on the cowbell cannot lay off that fucking cowbell. That is just hilarious. He is massacring that thing in only the funniest of ways. I do love this song, but for me, it's number 9.
So number 8 for me has already made an appearance on this list from someone else, and it's 9 to 5. It's Dolly, but it's a bit fluff. I like the lyrics. The wordplay is really good. I mean, Dolly, she's amazing. She's a great songwriter. But it's made for a film. It's a bit fluff. I, however, will say that I really enjoyed the use of the typewriter as percussion. I thought that was clever.
Me too.
I thought it was like a nice pull into the song.
Me too.
Yeah, and it doesn't. It's not like it's through the whole thing, but you get the dings and the percussion, and you get the feel for that, like the workaday. I liked it, but and this one, this one could have been maybe a little bit higher, but it just as I kept listening to the list, this was one that just kind of fell a little bit for me. So that's my number 8.
My number 8 is a little song by The Clash called Train in Vain.
Wow.
And
Shocker.
Wow.
it's another band I obviously love. I was wearing a Clash t-shirt the last time we recorded one of these.
Right.
But again, I've never had a huge opinion one way or the other on this song.
I can see that.
They're definitely going for an old Motown kind of feel, but they're doing it their way. And sometimes they would do that with amazing effects, like when they do the old reggae song Police and Thieves, they totally make it their own.
So good.
But yet it's still reggae or ska. But with this, I just don't know. And I mean, the main riff from this song is that's the main riff of the entire song, and it's almost through the entire song. And what's weirder is maybe one of the best parts of the song is the drum intro, which I never realized was so recognizable until I heard the Afghan Wigs cover Lost in the Supermarket and played that drum intro for the entire song. And it made me love that drum intro more than I ever have. But listening to it again, it just made me wish that there was somebody that had done an incredible kind of like Otis Redding doing this song. Like, Mick Jones is not the greatest singer in the world. I love him, but somebody must have gone out there and done this incredible soul version of it. I looked for about an hour last night. I heard the Manic Street Preachers do it. I heard the Black Crowes do it. I heard Dwight Yoakam do it. I heard about 20 bad punk bands do it, or at least for a few seconds each. And what I ended up coming back to was the first one I thought of, which is Annie Lennox's version, which is really great except for the 90s production, which almost ruins it. But her vocal is so great, and she gives it kind of this bluesy feel, and her voice is incredible. So if you know of any more soul versions that I can hear without bad 90s New Jack Swing moments, please let me know.
The Black Crowes version wasn't good?
Rich Robinson sings it, and he's terrible.
Never mind.
Oh, weird.
Never mind.
Sorry, Rich.
Okay, number 8 is Call Me. Sam's right about everything he said. And I thought I liked this song better than I like this song. I know every lick in my mind. I could sing you I'm not going to, but I could sing you the guitar solo and or the keyboard solo. And I mean, just every moment of this song is ingrained into my head. It just doesn't do anything for me. Heart of Glass, is that that's the other one, right? Heart of Glass.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
That was my jam back then. I remember that at the roller skating rink. Going, I love Blondie.
Oh, yeah.
And Call Me, I thought I loved too, but I don't. It's number 8.
Yeah, it felt like I was really surprised at how fast and hard that one fell for me.
All right, let's make it official. My number 8 is Call Me.
All right.
Man, those drums are relentless. I love listening to the drums, not just in the beginning, the whole way through. And every time going back into the chorus, the little fill, like it's so fun. The guitar is almost like, okay, this might be a stretch, but it's a little like Higher Ground Stevie Wonders to me.
Yeah.
Just like, da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Yeah, good call.
Anyways,
or the Chili Peppers version.
No, stop.
It's more like that.
It is more like that. That's fair. It's fun, and I do love this flavor Blondie, like the urgent kind of, not the tide is high, I like the melody. Like I do like this, but to take it from Adam's book, like not my favorite song by an artist that I actually really, really like. So wow, 3 out of 4 for Call. We finally agree on
No.
something,
Sam had it
sort
at
of.
number 9. We have it at number 8. You and I. So.
Okay.
Well, all 3 of you are wrong, but that's cool. Let's
Okay,
keep
go
going.
ahead, Sam.
All right, so this was another song that I really like. Thought it would end up higher, but again, like as the like the little ball falls in like the pachinko game where it just kind of like ping pongs back and forth. Funkytown made it to number 7 for me. It's a great little tune. It's like so much better than the pseudo echo. So this was an interesting thing. I tried looking up Funkytown because this is one word. It's Funkytown. The pseudo echo version is 2 words. So when I searched for it, I like typed in Funkytown, and I'm like, where's that other 80s version that's like so super 80s it's not even funny, and it wasn't coming up. And then I did separated it, and boom, there it was. Which, yeah, I mean, I remember them coming out with that. I'm like, that was one of the first songs I feel like I listened to the cover, which was like a popular cover. And I was like, why would you do that? Like, how are you going to improve on lip sync's Funkytown? Like, what are you trying to do with this?
It's true. Like, right. Like, what exactly are you trying
Right.
to do?
It's just like the fine 80s shellac over the whole thing. And it was like, But I do like Funkytown. It just ended up at number 7 for me.
Nice.
My number 7 is "You Make My Dreams Come True" by The Hall and the Oates.
Audible. Jim could not contain it. I love it.
I again, it's one that I never thought to one way or the other, but then in listening to it, I realized I like it a lot, and it's total upbeat, fun toe tapper of a tune. I just like the other ones more. I was curious if this was the first Hall & Oates song I ever heard. So I did look it up. Private Eyes was a hit right before it, so I must have heard that one first because I'm sure that's how it would have been.
Wow.
My favorite or part of the song, if you can call it a favorite, and like I'm laughing at it, is he says, "Well, listen to this," and then it's a total non-event. What happens after listening to this is this total weak.
No.
No. You don't say listen to this and then just do that.
When,
It's like Taylor Swift saying about listen to this sick ass beat or whatever she says in that one song, and then it's just the same beat that it's been for the last 3 minutes.
Okay,
like, no,
hold on.
no,
I need to interrupt for a second. I wrote down the exact same thing. I kept imagining that like there was a musician off to the side and their instrument wasn't plugged in, and they're off going like, I don't know, guys, you got to vamp. And the other guys are like, all right, we'll just have to keep playing the beat because nothing happens. He literally goes, listen to this, and it's the least interesting instrumentation of the entire song.
You expect like some wailing sax or some sort of like ripping guitar solo. Listen to this.
Dude, he goes, listen to this, and it goes bump, 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 bump. Ow. And then it goes through that again, and then there's that.
Yeah, they do that twice.
There's that, sound effect. That is so freaking cool when you're 9 years old.
But that's a good 10 seconds after he says, listen to this.
Oh, my God.
Like,
10 seconds. It might even be 4 minutes after he says that. You're just waiting and waiting
God,
and waiting.
I love that part of the
We're
song.
still waiting.
At 9 years old, I remember being in my parents' bedroom, waiting patiently. Like, guys, we're going out to dinner and they're getting ready, and I'm like, come on, and they put on this song to just like keep me appeased, and just call me, like just listen to this. And it was awesome, and I've always
so
loved it.
that part of the song served as a babysitter for you as a child, is what you're trying to tell me. They'll always have a soft spot in my heart because I was part of a group Halloween costume, and we were Oates and Oates and Oates and Oates, and
That's awesome.
If I never do anything else with my life, being a part of that makes it complete.
All right, is it my turn?
well,
Number 7 is Whip It. Whip It Good. You guys are right, but it's just when it
but not really.
When it comes on, it's just better, definitely better than Funkytown and 9 to 5, and it just barely beats out Call Me. I could have flipped those two. But Whip It, it's got an energy and a drive, and it is its own thing, and I like that thing. I mean, it's number 7. I like it, but it's still, I like that thing. And so it rose up to there. I tried not to think about the video, which of course we all saw so much, just trying to listen to the song. That dissonant keyboard, when he says whip it into shape, and it's, I mean, it's just, that's its own thing, and it's only that thing. I don't know how to describe it, but I like that. So anyway, Whip It's number 7.
Hey, energy is a great word for that song, actually. That is exactly what I appreciate most about Whip It. My number 7 is You Make My Dreams Come True.
Oh, God.
Look, I mean, this song is like a burst. That riff in the beginning, this is the song that for me fell the furthest from the beginning. In the beginning, I was like, oh, hell yeah, this is the dark horse. This is going to upset so many songs. And I do still love sort of that opening riff, kind of this song also deserves that word energy, just like the vibe of it. It just, for me, it doesn't sustain over the whole time. And actually repeated listenings, like to your point, Jim, the homework, when you're under the pressure cooker of listening again and again and again, this is the one that I was like, I mean, I reach for the volume every time it starts, and then I'm kind of like, okay. And then there's that middle section. Adam already said it perfectly. That cracks me up that we wrote the same thing for that. So again, fantastic song, but number 7.
See, and I listened, like, kind of like what you were just saying. Like, I listened, I worked in an office that, again, I'm 50, and it was fairly recent, and it was, I think I was the oldest person in the office by like 15 years. And so this song got put on a lot as kind of like a little throwbacky type song. And I mean a lot. And I love this song, but it got put on a lot. But when I'm talking about You Make My Dreams, I'm not talking about my number 6, which is, I gotta make sure that I'm looking at all of your faces. Pulling Mussels from the Shell. And I thought it was going to be a way bigger reaction.
I know, but I knew some.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And
You're always up to some shit, Sam.
So the line for me here is probably about under number 7. So under Funkytown, like the songs under that. At this point, I'm like, but this is one of the ones that I really like. And so the funny thing for me for this song is that I always want to hear Pulling Mussels for Michelle, not from the shell. And so I keep trying to find out where in the song Michelle is. Like, I think it's wordplay, and it's not. And I can't figure it out, like what it's supposed to mean. And
is it from the shell or from a shell?
From a shell, isn't it?
From the shell. Pulling Mussels from the shell.
Pulling Mussels from a shell. It's from a shell. Come on.
I think it's
But the title is
I'm just telling you what Glenn's singing. Glenn's singing from a shell, and not for Michelle, right, and which is what I thought too, Sam.
Yeah, and I keep trying to like fit it in there for like the verbal cleverness that would make it make sense, but there's nothing in the lyrics to back that up, so I have to give it up. But I didn't know this song at the time of release. I didn't know it until Squeeze Singles, till I was hipped to Squeeze Singles, which was probably like 84, 85, which is an amazing, like one of the best compilations ever.
Amen.
Especially of a band that I didn't know at the time. Like
Amen.
I had no idea about the band, and then finding out that this came out like so many years before I even knew of it. It's it blew me away. But and I love Squeeze, love the song. It just fell to number 6 for me, and that's it.
I love hearing how much we're all sort of apologizing tonight. There's a lot of apologizing going on for where a lot of these things are ranked, except by Jim.
Correct.
Take no prisoners. My number 6 is Crazy Little Thing Called Love by Squeeze. And by Squeeze, I mean Queen. Take 2. No. I think Sam already spoke to the kind of 50s revival that was happening then. Shauna Na was my favorite TV show. It was the first concert I ever went to, which someday I'm sure we'll talk about those. But glam in England had a lot to do with old 50s rock and roll. T-Rex's entire act almost was just kind of like that kind of boogie-woogie 50s stuff done slower and sexier,
sexier.
It's definitely doing an Elvis thing. Robert Plant sang it with them once, and it made it even more Elvis than it already was. But there's so many great little hooks in this song, and that's the thing. They're taking a simple rock and roll style and putting the Queen bag of tricks on top of it. So you've got these starts and stops, and you've got these big Queen harmony vocals, which, I don't know if that means they're not serving the song or not. It's just, maybe it's completely out of place, but that's part of the fun of what this song is. And when it's done by, I think it was Dwight Yoakam had a hit with it. Speaking of Yoakam again,
great version.
It totally fits.
Yeah.
It totally fits because it is a country rock song for sure. But it's great, and it definitely it reminds me of a younger, innocent time when I didn't know what being gay or straight meant, because he refers to she as he does in a lot of songs. Like his love interest is a female, and that just obviously wasn't the case. Oh, well,
sometimes it was. I mean, he was married.
Yeah, but if I believe everything I see on the silver screen, then he wasn't that interested in the women's.
Break out the timelines again.
Yeah.
All right,
I mean, so like, just real quick, Jim. Sorry. Like the thing, like how we usually say, like, oh, well, you could have talked me into this. Like, yeah, unfortunately, you can't talk me into this. but I'm gonna have two other people try at some point. So that's gonna be fun.
Yes, you will. My number 6 is Once in a Lifetime. The Talking Heads. Well, we promise not to give our whole history with each band, but I'll just tell you that never owned anything of theirs, but I have friends who really like them, and I respect those friends. And so when I did dip my toe in, it was good. Yeah, I know, I'm talking about you. So this is not one of those songs though that I was like, oh yeah, let me hear more. And it's because of the verses. I mean, the chorus is great. The opening moments of this song and the groove just hits immediately, and you're like, oh, I love this song. And then you may ask yourself, why am I listening to this song anymore? Because he just keeps, listing and not singing. And then all of a sudden a great chorus comes out, and then we go back to the end. So anyway, it is what it is. It's number 6.
Listing, not singing.
So I do have a question though. You sound not at all in love with it. How did it make it this high? Is it just because the chorus is strong enough that you liked it?
The music underneath the verses is great.
Okay.
But it's above Whip It, Call Me, Funkytown, and 9 to 5, and you're asking me that question? That's a stupid question.
Well played.
No further questions, Your Honor. So Adam has already made this point a lot, which is great, because I was very intent on doing the same thing, which is not bringing my history of the band into it as I was thinking about the song. Like, I'm not ranking how much I like this artist. I'm pulling it away and just thinking about this one song. And so for that reason, my number 6 is also Once in a Lifetime. As much as I tried to separate them, it is very clear who this artist is, because only one vocalist sounds like this. I mean, it is like so David Byrne, who I absolutely adore. I think he's unbelievable. I was thinking...
I'm listening. Listen to this.
Feel free to disagree. I would argue... overwhelmingly most songs become hits or classics because of the music. It's the riff. It's the overall musicianship. There are very, very few songs, I would argue, that overwhelmingly become a hit because of the lyrics. I'm not saying there's none, but I think it is the overwhelming minority where, now some are a combination of both, but where it's really about the lyrics. This song is totally about the lyrics. I agree with you, Jim. I love the groove, but it's one groove the whole friggin' time, basically. Nothing else changes. But those lyrics are like... It is this poem. A, it's iconic, and B, it just... You really do think about, like, this is not my beautiful house. This is not, like... It's one of those things you do continue to think about. It is like this, I don't know, it feels like it's this heavy, heavy poem that actually there's so much to just like chew on and try to figure out like what exactly does he mean. And I just, for that reason, I do love it. It's not my favorite to put on and just sort of like, jam to like other songs. But I love that this song is like a hit and a classic at this point, because there is no reason on God's green earth that this thing should have been like a mega hit. It makes no sense.
Especially with the video.
See, it's funny. So I didn't have MTV growing up. I would see it at friends' house rapidly whenever I could, but I don't have nearly the encyclopedic knowledge. I don't remember any of these videos. I'll just say that right off the bat.
That's fine. Number 5 for me is You Make My Dreams. Probably made it this high because my dad really liked this song. And I remember driving up I-70, like near Genesee, the song comes on and he turns it up and he's totally grooving. He's like, oh, I really like this song. Like, what's this song? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm a kid. But like,
get off my back, Dad. Jeez.
Right. But like to Adam's point, he's like, oh, is this the first Hall & Oates song I knew? Like, growing up in LA, like they played Rich Girl all the time. So I knew that. I knew Sarah Smile. I think that's probably, maybe She's Gone.
Yeah, that's the first
because those were all like early tunes and really great. But by this time, this was, I think, the third single off the record. The record also had You've Lost That Love and Feelin', Kiss on My List, which had a different poppy vibe from the early tunes. So this is like Hall & Oates in like middle of the road AM radio. So like when I was saying earlier, I heard this stuff on AM radio. This was just, and that's, I mean, I think my dad got the cassette soon after, and so I, got to listen to that. But so that's
a hip dad compared to us.
Well, yeah, like I said, he grew up in
Seriously?
Memphis. I mean, my parents, knew people who knew Elvis like back in the 50s, and my dad listened to blues radio or race radio, as it was probably called back then. But so I grew up and my uncle John Scott, he was the guy that helped break Tom Petty. So so he would send us. He was the promo guy for MCA, and I think I can't remember the other label, but so we would get records all the time. We have like all the Elton John records, bunch of Dylan records, like all this stuff that he would just send us.
Now he's just bragging.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm bragging about my Uncle John, who never gave me any sort of leg up in the industry, but love you, Uncle John. But so I did have a long musical history, and my dad was a hip guy as far as music went. And so he loved this, and that's probably why it made it up to number 5 for me.
His uncle was Bon
All right.
Scott, and you don't want him to brag about that?
John with a J. John Scott.
Gotcha.
I did not know that Bon Scott broke Tom Petty. That's blowing my mind.
Pretty much.
Too many J's.
Speaking of that, I am the first person to invoke this song. My number 5 is "You Shook Me All Night Long" by AC/DC.
We were all doing so well, Adam. We were finally.
There's so much to like about this song, but again, it's for whatever reason, it's one that I never thought one way or the other too much about. But it's got so many great little hooks. It is the quintessential. I would say it's the quintessential AC/DC song, but there's like some joke that one of them made, like, how do you feel about the fact that you've basically been like writing the same song over 15 albums? And Angus Young says, well, it's actually 16 albums. I don't remember which of them said it, but it's like they make no bones about
That's
it. But
fantastic.
It's like if you boil them all down to its essence, this might be like the perfect AC/DC song.
The prototype.
Right. And there's some. There's a really great podcast called Hit Parade, which is perfect for guys like me who are just obsessed with the list making and the chart positions and things like that. And I randomly, it was up on my list while I was doing my homework for this. I listened to all 10 songs, and then the next thing I was listening to was a podcast where they were talking about something he called the AC/DC rule, where for whatever reason, coming off a really huge hit album, they're a band's most famous album, a lot of times the album after does better because there's just so much buzz off the previous album.
Yeah.
And Back in Black is apparently one of those albums, and so much so that he named this rule after it, because I can't remember which one came out. Oh, For Those About to Rock comes right after Back in Black. And For Those About to Rock was the biggest hit, if you can call that a hit, on rock radio, but it wasn't a hit. But Back in Black had 2 or 3 really huge songs on it. But funny enough, the version that I remember most of this, and I don't know if Jim or Sam are aware of this, but Dan was a lounge piano player in the 80s. He played under the name Phil Conklin around the San Diego area, but most notably in a video that was made for an English class of his, where he played piano and 3 friends of ours, Bridget, Dan, and Aaron, sang popular songs. And the way that those 3 sang them, whenever I hear the real versions to this day, there are still bits of lyrics that they changed that I still remember and I still laugh at, however many years later. But in that song, was it Bridget that sang one? I think Bridget sang that one. Yeah. She says, "My mind was aching, so I took an aspirin." And maybe that's not funny, 30 years later, but then it was hilarious, and that I think that moved it up like an extra spot, at least.
Yeah. See, so for Crazy Little Thing Called Love, that was out in I think it was 5th grade for me. So we were studying, we had our little molecular biology unit where you're learning about, and so we were learning about euglena. So we would sing Crazy Little Thing Called Euglena.
That fits perfectly.
Yeah. See? And so it matches with your story. It's not funny, but it's just that when you're that age, you just come up with these little goofy things and you're like, hee hee. Euglena.
I hear you.
Jim, it's your turn for a not funny.
Number 5 is You Must Explain Why This Must Be. That is a freaking great song, guys. And it's one of those, it's not a new order where they don't, it is a new order. It's the title does not fit the words of the song. Right. And so I would see it, Adam always used to do these great lists, and I would see this song title, and I didn't know what song it was. But then I was like, oh my God, I love that song. I can't believe I don't know, what Train in Vain is. I was just a singles listener to The Clash. I never deep dove. But yeah, Train in Vain is a great little pop tune, and it's definitely better than the others on this list, and it's number 5.
I mean, other than a couple strong differences, other than that, like Jim, we're kind of on the same track here. My number 5 is Train in Vain, and I agree with what you said, Adam. Like, this is to me, in some ways it's very Clash, like, the vocals, you can tell it's the Clash, but it's so different from so much of the Clash. And like, to see that album cover for London Calling and then get to this song, it's like, wait, did they accidentally put this on the album? I was wondering, like, was this like the REM stand of its day, where people are like, what the fuck is this? But the beat, it's such a jam. Like, I want to clap my hands.
Yeah,
Jim was
so
just
good.
singing. I'm ready to like jump in. It's just so infectious. That's the word for it. And it's interesting because his voice is not like a pop singer's voice, but the music is so poppy, and somehow that combination it works.
So I saw REM that tour, the Green Tour, and they were playing. They always opened with Stand, and I was like, "Oh, you open with your number 1 hit." And evidently, Michael Stipe was like, "So we can get rid of it, get it out of the set list, get it over with."
Totally. And they never played it again after that tour.
Move. My number 4 is Pulling Mussels from Michelle. Is that
yes?
It's close.
The Shell. It's the
funny that you guys all were saying that has always bugged you, and I never noticed it until I dated a girl named Michelle a few years ago. Jim met her, and she noted that, and I was like, oh yeah, it really, really does sound like that, doesn't it? This is the only act on the list that I have seen live with someone else here.
Yes, you have,
Jim. We went and saw Different than Tilbrook, basically masquerading as Squeeze, playing acoustically in Anaheim a couple years ago. It was incredible. The thing that strikes me more in these days that I never noticed, like all through the 80s, is how incredible of a guitar player Glenn Tilbrook is. There are a few Squeeze songs where he is playing the most ripping but melodic guitar solos, and this is one of them. It is so, so good. I can't think of anything else to say because now I just have to go listen to the solo, and you guys just keep going, keep recording. Yeah. I'm gonna go listen to the solo.
So I'm gonna talk about it a little later, Adam. A little later, I'll be talking about that solo. But my number 4 is Crazy Little Thing Called Love. I can't imagine having more fun in a studio. I know I've said that about Radiohead. So this is basically
different fun.
Yeah, different kind of fun, exactly. But they are just freaking trying everything and pasting and copying and pasting. If it was on a computer, they'd be copying and pasting all these different things and dropping things out and bringing things up. And they're going, okay, what if we did just all these harmonies at this point? And what if we just drop everything but the drum? Yeah. And it's so catchy and cool and hip and Elvis and all that stuff. I get it. But it's also just such a great work of art. This is producing at its best, and it's not my favorite Queen song. It's Queen and Squeeze got together and made this song. It's not my favorite Queen song by a long shot. I'm not, when it was on this list, I was like, okay, that'll probably be up there, but God, you listen to it and you're just like, they were such masters of their craft. I mean, they just knew what they were doing. And so it has to be, at least top 4. on this list?
I mean, I've got the best warm-up act in the business. I've got Crazy Little Thing Called Love at number 4.
Hey.
Crazy Little Thing Called Love, guys, saying the same thing Jim did, but just in a stupider way, is it's the Cheesecake Factory of songs, right? Where why have a 1-page menu when you can have a 30-page menu? Like, why say no to anything, right? More fat, yes. More sugar, yes. Carbs, yes. We have, we have Asian food, we have pizza, we've got everything is yes. Why say no to anything? It only gets better, you guys.
Oh, God, that's great.
That's totally what they did here. They just threw everything in. Bohemian feels like it's got a bunch of everything, but it's over whatever it is, 6 minutes. Like this feels like it's, I love your expression, Adam. It's the queen bag of tricks. It's everything they've got in 3 minutes. It swings, it jives, it shakes all over like a jellyfish.
And you could just see Freddie with that acoustic guitar and the way he strums it.
My God.
It's so good.
Yeah,
they're just so insane.
I don't know when I realized that. Like at the end of the break, they say "Ready, Freddie."
Oh, God.
I never realized it was Freddie.
Oh, it's so good.
Until probably until like the last
That's
10,
one of the best
15, 20 years.
things.
Yeah, I mean I never listened to it that close.
And then you said, "Screw it, I'm going to rank it low."
Yeah.
Yep.
Said, boom.
As you do.
Blowing it up. So number 3 for me is Whip It. I was infatuated with this song back then. I was so infatuated with this song. And so like for me, I say that a lot on this podcast. Like for me, but this song, it, like the joy that I get when this song comes on is that joy from that time of like hearing something that's new. I mean, there wasn't anything like this it wasn't really on the radio in Colorado, so I had to hear it like when we went out to visit California, where I was from, and like I'd hear it in these weird exotic places, and it was like, oh, what's that? Like, that's so weird. And the Whip It, and like I think it was Jim that was saying the keyboard, that dissonant keyboard going back and forth in the chorus, and you're like, what's going on? And then with the whip cracks, and I'm not even talking about the video, I'm talking about everything in your ear. Like that's, I don't even know how many times I saw the video. I'll talk about that in a little bit, but yeah, like the repetitive chorus was great. The synth sounds were so new to me. I feel like it was just so strange and wonderful, and so the joy when I hear this song, that's what elevates it to this high for me.
Great stuff.
Well put, yeah.
Nice. My number 3, I thought was going to be my number 1, and now it's my number 3, and that's 9 to 5.
What?
Wow.
I have always loved this song, and part of the great thing about listening to the Mighty 690, and you hear people talk about this when they talk about listening to the radio in the 60s and 70s on Top 40 radio, is that it was so diverse, and that you would hear pop songs and hard rock songs and folk songs, and it was just whatever was popular, that's what played. And I love listening to stuff on random. That's usually what I listen to, is a Pandora station that's completely random and my iTunes on random. And that was kind of what the Mighty 690 was like. But there was some pop country crossover hits right around that time, and it was kind of my introduction to country. I ended up playing country music and quite a bit of it later in my life, but I had no cred, like none. And it was so funny when people would ask me if I grew up listening to country music when they'd see us play. I'd be like, well, the Mighty 690 used to play Devo Went Down to Georgia, I Love a Rainy Night, and 9 to 5. That's all I got. Like,
I was gonna say Eddie Rabbit, dude. I was gonna say.
Yeah. And like, okay, I got to high school and I listened to, Camper Van Beethoven and Violent Femmes, and there was a little bit of rootsy stuff, but it's like, I had nothing. But this song was huge. It was her only number 1 pop hit. She had 25 number 1 country hits, but this was her only number 1 in the regular old charts. And I've never ever thought of it as a novelty because it's a typewriter. And I also never really paid that much attention to how great of an idea it is to use that as a percussive instrument for a song about the working person blues. It is so perfect.
Did anybody see the movie?
Oh yeah,
I
love the movie. It was on cable all the time. It was just so fun. It was so weird and goofy.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess, and it got knocked down as hooky as it is, and there's many parts that I love about that song. The 80s production kind of knocked it down a little bit. The horns are so not. It's I don't know what they're going for. It's like, hey, pizzazz, showbiz, like it's just it doesn't do it for me. But her delivery transcends it. Like I didn't notice it until listening to it for this that I didn't like it. But my favorite part is she gets really into one line, like, you got dreams I'll never take away. And she's so into it. But then she comes way down, on the same boat with a lot of your friends. And I swear, I'm tearing up even just saying it now because I did. Most times I hear that song, I tear up during that part because like she like takes it down and really like, let me just talk to you for a second. Like, it's such a heartfult little moment.
That's
and
great.
I love it, love it, love it.
That is awesome, Adam.
Well put.
I think that beats Funkytown now on my list. I'm going to change that. I think it's that's the kind of stuff that I hear that I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
That was so stirring. I will move it one spot above Funky.
Yeah.
That's what Dolly's been hoping for her whole life. If I could just beat Lips Inc.
That's right. One day I'll be as big.
My number 3 is You Make My Dreams Come True. And I've been waiting for you, girl. I mean, it is so freaking good. Every part of this is every. You know how you know every part of a guitar solo and you can sing it, in your head. Every vocal thing that he does, that Daryl does, is just Daryl, because he and I are tight.
First name basis. Yes.
And my
Daryl.
other brother Daryl. But anyway, he's perfect, and it's catchy as hell. It's great live. I've seen them once at the Santa Barbara County Bowl. I have seen this song performed many, many times by a band called Yachtly Crew, which is like the greatest yacht rock band in the world.
Ridiculous.
And they do this song awesome. They do every song awesome, and can't wait for live music to come back. Anyway, I have more to say, but I think you guys have said it, and I'm going to just shut up so we can talk about Dan's number 3.
All right. What I'll say about my number 3 is that all of my top 3 at one point had a very real shot of being number 1. So like this is the medal stand now. This is big time. My number 3 is You Shook Me All Night Long by AC/DC.
The medal stand. I get it. Okay.
I didn't mean that, but that is definitely that is 100% our next podcast, the medal stand. I love it. The bronze goes to, that's awesome. That might be a better name than We Will Rank You. You might remember from the episode we did about love that I tried out a new feature. None of you guys have picked up on it. I'm really disappointed. I'm going to try it a second time. I want to see if this is going to pick up. I think this can catch on, guys. It's called Totally Made Up Fact. Because again, I don't read anything about these songs and their histories, and so instead I just make shit up.
This will be good.
So the totally made up fact about You Shook Me All Night Long is that scientists have actually studied this song and discovered that singing along to the chorus actually intensifies the effect of the alcohol currently in your system, making you 2 to 5 times more drunk than you already are, or up to 10x if you're on a dance floor at the same time.
Yeah.
That
and
is
hotter. And way hotter.
And way hot. The person across from you hotter. It's this song just to me feels like getting drunk. There's just something about it where all of a sudden your whole physical being just goes like, oh shit, yeah, like it's on. It just gets you so fired up, right? And I like what you said, Adam. I do think it's kind of like a prototypical, I mean, they're all prototypical AC/DC songs, but the lyrics are genius. I have a feeling Jim's going to take us through highlights. So, because that's usually what Jim does. So I'm ceding over to you, sir, as the bearer of the AC/DC scepter. You can talk to us about American Thighs and all of those things that have just become absolutely
so
classic. The guitar, we want to talk about like great guitar solos. Like these guys are so efficient. It's a bunch of like muscular chords and then a solo that is a great solo, but it doesn't try to like blow you away with how fancy it is. He just rips into a solo, and we're back. And like, AC/DC might be the most efficient band out there. Certainly the most efficient metal band out there. They just get it done, right? They're, for those about to rock, they're going to salute you and then you're out. Like, love it. Love it. By the way,
the deeds, they're going to be done dirty and then they're out.
and cheap. Speaking of cheap, the 2 albums that I bought from 1980, the first 2 albums I ever owned were Queen the Game and AC/DC Back in Black.
Wow.
Yep.
God.
And I just played those mothers like crazy.
The Queen album, The Game, my Uncle John came to visit. He had a little portable cassette player, brand new, that no one had at the time, a Walkman. He had a Sony Walkman, the very first model, and he had the cassette, The Game, and I listened to the shit out of that thing. And I totally fell in love with that record. So that's my little The Game story. So sorry.
We do have video of Dan in 1989 saying that the first album he ever bought is The Game, which we're gonna have to
good point
get on social media.
So I'm consistent.
So
no revisionist history.
Before I mention this, just you all have talked about the bands that you've seen live of this list.
Nice.
I have seen none of them. I have not seen one of these bands live. No Devo, clearly no Clash. Not one of them.
Wait, can we go around real quick? Can we list everybody's live acts that they've seen of this list?
It'll take 2 seconds. He's got none. I've got 2. I've seen Devo 3 times, I think. Wow. And then Squeeze with Jim, and once in Tijuana with our friend Eric Silvers at a huge 91X festival that was called Mex Fest, which was Oingo Boingo, The Fix, Squeeze, The Bangles, Chris Isaak, and Hoodoo Gurus.
Nice.
And you still
I have seen Squeeze, and I've seen Hall & Oates, and that's it.
And I've seen Devo, Hall & Oates, which was super fun, Squeeze, but not with you guys, unfortunately, and AC/DC.
Was that Squeeze show with 10,000 Maniacs? I vaguely remember you going to see them.
No, it wasn't. Maybe it was. It was like at the, where does the symphony play this?
Golden Hall or yeah.
I was, yeah.
And then AC/DC was at Coachella?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
And it was so good. Oh my God, was it good.
So my number 2 is Once in a Lifetime by Talking Heads. What I started to say about video shows is, and I'll probably mention this many, many times over the course of the podcast, is that we had a local show that was called, I think it was either called FMTV First or Teletoons First, and then they switched because one was already taken somewhere, but it was on Channel 12 here, KBDI, Broomfield TV. Somehow we were able to get the video signal for that before we got cable, because when we moved, we didn't have cable for years. And so y'all are talking about MTV, which came on in 81, but I didn't even get that until probably the mid 80s. But this little public, TV station had this video show, and one of the videos they would play was Once in a Lifetime. And so that TV show coupled with the movie Erg, A Music War, which I did see on cable, was kind of where my musical genesis started. So I think they played Just Can't Get Enough, which is where I bought the Depeche Mode album, their first record. And so Once in a Lifetime, I didn't buy. I don't know if I've bought Little Creatures. I was going to say I don't know if I've ever bought a Talking Heads record, but this classic weird ass video is part of the reason why it's so high. I mean, it's just so bizarre with him doing the motions from the little backing videos, like the dancers from, I think it's Africa, and just the weird stuff that he's doing, all sweaty, and the suit and the horn rim glasses. So that part is, it's burned into my brain with this song. But going back and listening to it, I didn't watch the video at all. I just listened to it, and that groove, the way it starts out, and it's got that weird little synthy thing that's worming its way through the whole song, and you get the Tina Weymouth, I mean, oh my God, like she is so fucking good on the bass. And just the grooves that they do with Talking Heads and Tom Tom Club, it's just unstoppable. And like Dan said, the words, the lyrics, the chorus is great, but you get that, like he said, like a lot of these songs, like Whip It, that doesn't stick with me. But you might find yourself later thinking, wow, this is like some existential shit for a fucking 10-year-old, right? Like, but it sticks, and you're like, wow, that's really cool. So this song just made it up as far as number 2 for me.
Can never argue with Talking Heads at number 2. Sorry.
Fair enough. My number 2 is Funkytown by Lips Inc. I don't know if I'm the highest.
I don't know if I've heard it from Sam yet.
It's blowing me away.
I have always had a
Loved
total,
Me? Oh, that's Dolly Parton's song.
I love this song. I don't know why. It's so dumb and it's so fun. But
Yeah.
I I can't believe that I actually had the word Taco Bell written down, Jim, because Dan worked as an ad exec at Taco Bell many years ago, and I didn't think of it until years later. But at one point I said to him, "You've probably heard this a million times, but you should probably do..." You know what you should do, my least favorite question, but you should do
Right.
something with that because it sounds like they're saying Taco Bell. And you said, "I've never heard that." And then I'm like, someone must have done it on YouTube, and I put it into YouTube, and here's this woman sitting on her bed with an acoustic guitar, or maybe she just sang it a cappella, the worst Weird Al you've ever heard in your life. And I was like, maybe you should just not do that. But at least I'm not the only one that heard it. As I mentioned before we started recording, of all the bands to kind of learn about, I know nothing about this band, so I did do a little bit of research about them just because I was so curious. I've heard this song a million times. It was a Minneapolis guy named Steve Greenberg, sounds like a nice Jewish boy, who had some weird random disco hit and got a record deal out of it. And they said, okay, but you have to put a band together. So he went around to different Minneapolis bands and got this band together. And the singer that he got was a girl named Cynthia Johnson, who was in a band called Flight Time with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis before they were in the Time for like 6 or 7 years.
Nice.
But there's 6 or 7 people in the band in the pictures of them, but kind of like When Doves Cry, I was talking about how minimal is the instrumentation is on that song. This song sounds like there's so much going on, and then I was listening to it going, there's like the best parts of the song where it's really just bass, guitars, and drums in a couple parts. Like even just the chorus of "Jing, jing, jing, when you take me to jing, jing," that's there's almost nothing there,
Totally.
and it's so hooky and good. I had to knock it down. I don't know if it would have been my number 1. I thought it was going to be my number 1, and you guys were going to hate me. The break is so cheesy and bad. The ba-na-ba-ba-ba-na. It's so bad, 80s sax. And then also the string part. It's like so dumb and
Horrible.
It's
so
so
disco.
disco because it was such a thing to have these like string flourishes, and it's as dumb as it gets. And they could have done without that part, and it still would be so good. But as far as fake facts go, Dan, it's ironic that you would say that none of us had any, because here's mine. Yes. And I definitely did not just look this up and come up with this right now. But what we refer to commonly as dumb guy voice in background vocals is used prominently. It's actually, to their credit, they wait to the very end to have something a little extra and silly. And it's only at the very end that the robots go, "Won't you take me too?" And it is totally dumb guy voice. It was done, all the doo-wop groups in the 50s had it, but most people think it's one of the guys in the band with like a vocoder or something like that. But it was actually the robot Twiki from Buck Rogers, who he's famously portrayed by Mel Blanc, which is kind of a neat bit of trivia. But he was also
No, he was not.
Yeah.
Are you kidding
Yeah,
me? Twiggy.
That is absolutely
Bitty,
Mel Blanc.
bitty.
Yeah. Which
Hello,
that is
Buck.
100% true. The made-up facts
Wow.
is that he was the 7th member of Lips Inc.
Yeah.
Thank you, Adam. I knew it was going to catch on. I love it already.
Is it my turn?
It is.
Yes.
They do it down on canvas sands. They do it at Waikiki. Dude, Pulling Mussels, I can't believe it's not number one, and I'll tell you why it's not later. But holy crap, Squeeze is awesome. I love two singers all at the same time. This is one of the Squeeze songs that doesn't have that until the chorus, right? Chris Gifford, right? It's Glenn and Chris, right? Yeah, okay, thank you.
Glenn Tilbrook.
That bass I just love his voice so much. Anyway, that's not why we're here. Pulling Mussels has such great lyrics. It has such a great groove. I think that Squeeze is so good at throwing a bunch of chord changes at you and making it sound like it's a D, C, D, B song. Or sorry, D, C, you know what I mean. D, C,
Dan Buchacher.
G, D is what I was trying to say. Oh my God, edit this shit out. I know you won't. My point is your basic freaking just simple pop song, but they take these amazing chord changes and make it into this melodic thing that just sounds right to your ear. It is an amazing guitar solo, Adam, and then it fades out to the madness piano.
Yes.
That piano is such a madness sound, and
Jules
it is
Holland.
so freaking
fucking
good.
good.
It's so good, and you can sing every part of that in your head right now.
Yep.
I can't believe how good this song is. I can't believe it's not number one on this list. Two fat ladies window shopping something for their mantelpiece was pretty much the only lyric that I knew back in the day, and then I read them all. And I was like, oh my God, he says chalet, behind the chalet. I didn't know that, there's all these things that I learned later. Camber Sands, do you know where they do it out on Camber Sands? Yeah, me neither. It's in England. It sounds English. Therefore, I think
they're all beach towns they're beach towns in the UK, other than
it's English, and so therefore I love it, right? So there you go.
That was my offering to you, Jim. A UK act and it worked. Number two, guys, my number two is 9 to 5.
Yes.
9 to 5 is an amazing song. It is so fucking good. I mean, Adam, you said a lot of it and apologizing the whole time because you realized as you were talking that you ranked it too low. You do realize that.
By one, apparently.
It just feels so long ago, Adam. I mean, it's yes, of course, it's got all those little country pieces to it, but like those horns, like when it hits, someone said earlier, like for one of these other songs, it could have been, like you can imagine Otis Redding singing it. Mm-hmm. I could imagine Otis Redding singing 9 to 5. Like it practically has like a soul hit to it with those
he would
horns.
Bust it
and, oh
out.
my God. And then those lyrics, guys, like if Clash is going to turn in Train in Vain, 9 to 5 is the most punk song on this list. Like the words are basically fuck my job, fuck the capitalist system, and men are pigs. Like this is, the attitude is so punk, but the delivery is Dolly Southern charm. And again, Adam, you put it well, like the way she delivers this song, like she sings the hell out of every lyric. I think it's totally underrated. This is one where every time I listen to it, I'm like, this is going higher. This is going higher. Like it's genius. It's only whatever. I think it's under 3 minutes. It's basically, verse, chorus, but it's so expertly executed in my mind. That typewriter with the ding is just the cherry on top, Jim. It's a perfect little hit. This is like wicked, biting criticism with a Southern smile, and it's catchy as hell. I love it. I could listen to it 10 times in a row, and I might just do that.
Yes.
It's the bless your heart of punk.
Nailed it.
Vaccine.
So my number one is a little song that I've got the vinyl for. 45 record. That's how much I love this song, Train in Vain by The Clash.
Have you had that since you were a kid?
This song, yes, absolutely. The B-side is London Calling, which I don't recall ever listen. Yeah, I don't recall listening to that song. I'm sure I did, and I'm sure I was like, okay. Because Train in Vain is just like that, such little like groovy little.
Those two do not fit.
And then London
I mean,
Calling.
granted, they're on the same album,
but yeah, right. But so, so you could easily say that this song is samey, and I think people have, and it doesn't do much. Like I said for "Call Me," like it's doesn't really do much, but back then it just connected with me when it came out, and it always has. From the fade in at the open, the little shuffle beat on the drums, it fades in to the long slow fade at the end. But like that plucked bass, that the boom bam boom bam, it's so snappy. It sounds so great. It's not stand up bass, but just like it's a plucked. It's not like like with it's like a finger pluck. It's not with a pick type of thing. Just like grooving in there. The backing harmonica, the little piano bits, which I don't know that I even really remembered that much, but they're just so kind of like right in there under the melody, just holding it down. It's layered, it's lush. Again, like the stutter shuffle train style beat. I love the story that's told, like the feeling of dejection and abandonment. And I don't know why it connected with a freaking 10, 11-year-old kid, but it did, and it just. The way he's singing it out, and I read that it was he'd broken up with his girlfriend who was I forget, I think she was in the Slits, but and she was like, yeah, like he was dejected, but I just wanted him to stop coming around. Viv Albertine. So so like, but you can feel I can feel that emotion in it, and it's just always been a great song for me, a song that I just super dig. And when I made this list, this one, number one with a bullet, this one went right to the top. And I, and the rest of them, I just kind of sorted from there.
Interesting.
There it is.
Incidentally, I've forgotten to mention it, but I only made it live a couple of days ago. If you want to hear every song that we've rated number one, we put up a Spotify playlist, or I did, called "We Will Rank You Number One," like the actual number sign and one. So we'll be adding all these songs to it when we release it. But my number one is "Call Me" by Blondie, and I thought it was going to be really high, and I had it at number 2, I think. I had Funkytown 1, Blondie 2, and I listened to it again and cranked up in the car. There's no way I could put it any lower. Yeah.
Great.
I mean,
driving song.
Everything you said about the intro and how hard it hits with the drums and that riff, and then you said, it doesn't go anywhere. And for me, it doesn't need to. It keeps on going. But at that said, it's got the best bridge maybe of any song on this list. She sings a little bit in French and Italian. It's like a key change. It is so hooky, that part. And the organ solo is maybe as good as the Squeeze piano solo. Sorry, Jules, but it's just so catchy and good. It does have the dumb guy vocals that we just referred to. You can tell, like she did on the Muppet Show, and it's absolutely perfect to have a bunch of Muppets going, "Call me." I mean, it's just like so perfect. And like a couple of songs on this list, there's a great little end vamp. Like Daryl Hall does a good one, and hers is really subtle, but the way she goes hoo hoo at the end is just so good. Debbie Harry in 1980 was, the hottest thing ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
She was the hottest thing in 1980. She might be the hottest thing ever, but she's also talented as hell, and she sang it so good. And I have to share this one little tidbit because today Blondie came up randomly in conversation. We did a Blondie's cover night at a club called Blonde, perfectly, and I was the only guy that sang, and I did it in drag, of course, and I borrowed a blonde wig from a friend, and she said, "Well, just so you know, the back of the wig." In the middle, it's cut off because I was Molly Ringwald's sister from 16 Candles as a Halloween costume. So she gets her hair caught in the door, and I'm like, that is the greatest small touch. And Sonia, who did this, is a genius when it comes to costumes. And so I wore it that night, and I swear to you, 3 or 4 people said, is your hair cut in the back because you're the girl from 16 Candles? And I was like, I love that I have that many friends that would recognize that. So that's my number one.
That's great.
Oh my God. I think that I'm here to correct Adam, and that's why I've been cast in this role. Number one, it's not Molly Ringwald's sister. It's just the hot girl at school. Number two.
Oh, well put.
Can we just give a little credit to Stevie Nicks? Are you kidding me? Deborah Harry's the hottest thing. Stevie Nicks, people.
Oh, I thought you were referencing the fact that she was offered this song first, or they were trying to get her to sing it. Oh, Debbie Harry.
No, I'm just saying when you said Debbie Harry was the hottest thing in 1980, I'm going to say, excuse me, Stevie Nicks has something to say about that.
Sam, go. What do you say?
No way. Not even close.
We're not here to rank chicks.
gonna say
That's another podcast.
I mean, if you're calling them chicks, I think that it is with this podcast.
Oh, okay, listen.
Wow.
So your top three, Call Me, Funkytown, and 9 to 5, Adam?
Was your bottom three?
My bottom three, Call Me, Funkytown, 9 to 5.
Yes, my job
You're
is done.
absolutely wrong again.
1980,
The
ladies
best
and gentlemen.
song. And the number one track on this Dan Buchacher created playlist.
Speaking of respecting the ladies, is
She was a fast machine. She kept her motor free. You Shook Me All Night Long has to be number one because it's one of the best songs of all time, I think. Just iconic in its thing. It's not my favorite song on this list. Pulling Mussels is. But I had to say, like, You Shook Me All Night Long is so epic and legendary. It's like having Stairway on a list and you don't put it number one. It just has to be.
No.
And every high school party that we went to, and you guys were there for them, it was a weird phenomenon. I remember it clearly. This song would come on, and it's the half of the party, with the opening ding, the opening guitar riff, and it just goes through once, and half of the party goes, "Oh, here we go," and then they don't go into it. They do it again. It goes ding, 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 again, right? And then the whole party's there, and then boom, and it starts, and it's just the whole freaking place goes off. And this is
can I just say at that moment everyone gets 2 to 3 times drunker. Science has proven that.
Science.
Exactly.
Science.
And everybody's in on every lyric. And there is no way that that's not the best guitar sound you've ever heard in your life, and the best drums you've ever heard in your life, and the best vocals you've ever heard in your life. It is so in that lane. It like whoever was saying, it's just it is the perfect thing for that thing. It has to be number one.
The perfect thing for that thing.
I'm not good with words.
No,
But
you know what?
In that moment, no, I know what he's saying.
No,
in that moment,
I was not trying to be funny.
Oh God.
Yeah, in that moment, it's the best of all of those things that you've heard because it's just a force of nature.
Yeah, exactly, force of nature.
Yes.
And so now I would like to admit that I'm wrong and turn it over to Dan to prove
Thank you, Jim.
what the real number one is.
Because you don't
you're
say
right.
something like, it's not my favorite, but I ranked it number one. The song you wanted to rank number one. All of a sudden, you're the peer pressure guy? This is new. The best song on this list. I said there were 3 that threatened for number one, but really one was never going to get dislodged, and it's Pulling Mussels from The Shell. I just want to say I've got a chip on my shoulder. I think Squeeze is one of the most criminally underrated bands, at least in my world. I can't believe how many people I mention the word Squeeze to, and they're like, who? And these are people with some musical knowledge, maybe not diehards. And then I'll say Tempted, they'll be like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I've heard that song. And that's it. And it blows my mind. I don't know if...
Those are the people you just write off. They're like...
I mean, I don't know if our radio station played them a lot more than others, but anyways, I mean, I'm a Squeeze super fan, and this song is like just... one is them at the height of their powers. We talked about the opening of You Shook Me All Night Long, and they let it ring. This song, they just dive in. Let's go, right? The lyrics right off the bat. And it's, again, it's another song that's kind of efficient. Like, they're not trying to show off. They're not doing anything for effect. They're just blowing their way through a song. They're moving at a quick pace. Squeeze are always amazing lyricists. They totally just paint this picture of Beach Town and everything that's happening. Jim, you already mentioned some of the best lines, like really like painting that picture. I do like the organ solo on Call Me, Adam, but you gotta be kidding me. That piano solo is like Hall of Fame. And one of the things I love about it is it's so frigging short. He leaves you begging for more. Like you're like, wait, that's it? He absolutely like kills it.
But he kind of does give you a little more. It's like he's done, but then he at the end, then he vamps a little more. It's like it's almost like, oh, you want some more of this? Oh, you want some more of this?
It's the best little hit at the end. And you guys talked about the guitar solo, but none of us talked about how the second half of that guitar solo is just one note over and over again.
Yes.
I mean, what kind of freaking guts does that take to just say like, and now I'm going to go into this.
It's the aperitif. It's the the
so
intermezzo
works.
between the two other things.
And it just fits together.
Obviously, Hall & Oates ripped that off with Maneater. You know that murder. It totally.
It fits together so beautifully, and every one of you has told a story about pulling muscles and misunderstanding what it was. I finally broke down, guys. I finally did a little bit of research because this is one where I had to admit I was like, I don't understand at all what this song is about. It's my number one. Is it just that simple pun of, oh, it's good if you're pulling muscles, like you pulled your muscle? I should have known. Anytime there's a song that you don't know what it means, it's about sex. And I totally missed this. Apparently, here's our lesson for today. This is real. Pulling muscles from Michelle is slang for basically putting your hand down a girl's pants. And that's the muscle. And if you reread it now, you realize he's basically talking about beach towns, not much to do, but behind the chalet, my holiday's complete. And then I feel like William Tell, which is the guy who hit the target right in the middle. And then it's Maid Marian, who was the girlfriend of Robin Hood, who's another famous archer. So he's like hitting the target. But Maid Marian is on her tiptoed feet because she's feeling good, pulling muscles from Michelle. Like I had no idea. And so anyways,
thanks, Dan.
Squeeze gets more bonus points for just like taking the typical topic of sex and just cloaking it in a way that like all of us are listening to this over and over again and have no idea, but once you hear it, you're like, I totally get it now. It's something to do in that beach town during summers when you're young and just looking
I
for...
appreciate that kind of stuff so much more than hello, Wendy, the bathwater's warm from that Prince crap. You know what I mean?
I thought for sure you were going to say I appreciate it more than she wanted me to come, but I was already there because that's just poetry.
That is great poetry.
Out of curiosity, Dan, did you choose to put this on this list because it is literally your favorite song of that year? Because we were talking about what our outside of this list might be our favorite song.
Honestly, I missed when you asked that question. I gave no thought to my favorite song of 1980, and I didn't do any research, so I don't know how to answer that question. But no, I'm not even sure this is my favorite Squeeze song.
Right. Yeah, me neither.
But
it's genius.
It's up there. It's up there.
So would you guys like to know the ranking from, the group ranking from bottom to top?
Oh, yeah, because this one was kind of all over.
Yeah, the worst song on this album.
Wait, Jim, really quickly, you should probably explain exactly what you did to get to this list.
Yeah, so I take all of our rankings, add them together, and get an average, right? And so the lowest ranked songs are going to be at the bottom. So anyway, Whip It is the average lowest. Then Funkytown.
Sorry, Sam.
Then Funkytown. Then Call Me. Then Crazy Little Thing. Then 9 to 5. Then Once in a Lifetime, then You Make My Dreams, then Train in Vain, then You Shook Me, and then Pulling Muscles. So if you're looking at You Shook Me All Night Long and Pulling Muscles from Michelle as number 1 and 2, and then you look across the four of us and you say, who had them ranked 1 and 2? There's only one person, and that would be me.
Okay. For all of you numerologists out there.
Wait.
Rigged.
Wait, what are you talking about? What did I have?
You had 1 and 3. You Shook Me at number 3.
Yeah, you're right. But I did have the correct number 1. So
yeah, that's right. All right. Well, that was fun.
That was.
Who's next?
Yeah, who is next?
This
Adam's
guy.
next.
Okay,
Boy.
go ahead. Call
Praise
the album.
yourself.
Well, I feel like I put you guys through the most turmoil by choosing Love last time, which was an album that I knew all three of you
so good.
wouldn't know. And so Sam is shaking his head because that was not fun for him. Jim is like doing triple flips because it worked.
It was great.
But so I feel like I should do the exact opposite, and that is pick an album that I am absolutely sure that all four of us have. And now, how do you ask, would we know that all four of us have it? Well, in 1994, when I was roommates with Sam, I went into his room when he was away. I went into our other roommate's room, and I rearranged everything in the room, but I also went through their CDs and came up with a list of, I think it was like 12 or 15 albums that we all had. And that's how we would do it then. Now, I'm not going to make you guys look through all of your albums and go from there and try and figure out which albums we've all had. So instead, I'm going to use a list that Jim mentioned a few episodes ago, maybe in our second episode, and that is an NME list of the top 500 albums of all time. Number one was The Smiths. And what I need you guys to do, takes you maybe 10 or 15 minutes, is to go through this list and put your first initial by every album that you have. I've already done it for me. I will send it to you guys. It's a shared Google Doc. And I will look at the list of all the albums that all of us have and choose one from that to appease you in for making you guys do forever changes, which I believe is number 36 on that list, incidentally. Yes, Dan, you have a question?
way.
Questions?
Yes, question?
Dan's got his hand up.
Question number one is, so this is an album that we owned in some form at some point.
Yes. CD, album, cassette, not roommates, not spouses, because there were a lot of those on there. I'm like, well, Charlotte has this and this girlfriend had that.
Oh, just us.
So
Just us. Okay.
just you
Dan,
guys.
let me interject with question number 2.
Yes.
Adam, how are you so awesome?
This
Back
is
to you, Dan.
literally the only thing I'm good at, you guys. So thank you for playing along.
And you will.
No, you're good. You're good at the songs. You're good at writing and blending the.
Oh,
the
yeah.
mashup-y
Yeah,
type
totally.
Stuff. You're really good at that
Thanks.
too.
You will. You have some really funny T-shirts too. You will. You will share that combined list. I feel like that should be group knowledge once we have that.
I think
what albums do we all?
Yeah, and now I'll defer to the Mr. Spreadsheet man to my lower left if he really wants to overtake this a little more. I was just putting hand typing a letter, but if there's a way to organize it better with a spreadsheet, I'm totally willing to do that. But
oh my God. All right.
This is great.
I'm probably
Let's
doing
do
this
it.
the second we.
yes, well, it's already it's
Let's just go. Like that's one of those things. Now that I know that that's a task I need to do, like I'm dying to do it right now.
excellent. Well, I have it up and ready to send to you guys, so I'll send it to you as
Squeeze.
soon as we're done.
Just put my initials next to all the squeeze.
No spoilers. All right, so you guys don't know what it is, but by the time this comes out, we will announce it on social media within a day or two of putting this episode up, and you guys will see what it is.
Nice.
Out of 500, I don't know how many I had, just so you know, but I think it should be, we should each guess. I'm going to guess there's 12 out of 500 that we all have. I have no idea.
That we all have.
That all of us have.
I didn't count how many there I had total out of the 500. I did count in the top 100. I had exactly half. So
I'm going 33.
Whoa. Okay.
That's good, Jim. I was
And a
gonna go
third?
higher. Also, I'll go. Do I want the over or under on 33? I'll go less. I'll say we have 24.
I was gonna say 20 only because like just the randomness of it, but that as it comes out of my mouth, that feels low. Just with thinking of Tears for Fears and Queen is Dead and stuff like that. But I mean, all four of us. I'm gonna stick with 20, but I know it's
I
low.
mean, I only own 10 albums, so it's not gonna be
He's only ever owned 10 albums.
right.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys
Right.
next time.
Thanks
or
for
hear
playing
you.
along, guys.
Thank
Anyway,
you.
thanks, Dan, for 1980. That was fun.
Cheers. Bye, guys.
Love is a burning thing, and it makes a fiery ring. I was bound by wild desire. I fell into a ring of fire.
Please follow We Will Rank You at wewillrankyoupod on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and let us know how you would rank this week's tunes. Sam writes about music on the web at yourolderbrother.com. You can find Adam's music page at You're Doing Great, that's YERDOIN. Please subscribe, rank, and review our show at your favorite pod place, and send us a note with suggestions and flattery to wewillrankyoupod@gmail.com.
All right, everybody. Thanks for sticking around. Welcome to our first ever contest answer gender reveal party. There was a little bit of confusion as to what we were doing tonight with my co-host here. If you listened to last week's episode, you heard us teasing our first ever election for our request episode. And we can now safely reveal that the winner of that was the 1994 album Park Life by the band Blur with an R. So you'll hear that in a few episodes. But tonight, we are talking about the answers for our first ever contest that was sponsored kindly by the folks at Vinyl Junkies Record Shack in San Diego.
Thank you, Vinyl Junkies.
We've got, thank you. Sam, Dan, and Jim are here via Zoom. We've never done audio via Zoom. So for all you lo-fi vinyl crackling audio fans, this is your night. Finally, no crisp, clean audio. But we're going to go through and see how well our hosts did against the contestants in our logo contest. Basically, the rules were name every album that we have in our logo. And so let's do that. We're going to start with the easy part. The words "We Will Rank You" are two very well-known band fonts. So you guys, what is the "We Will"?
Can I do this? Can I do this because it's the only one I know?
Yes, take it away, Jim.
Yes.
It has to be Oasis.
It is Oasis. Well done. So I want you guys to keep track of your own scores, please, on your fingers. So that's worth 1 point. And then the second one, Rank You. What band is that?
AC/DC.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, AC/DC is correct. So that is worth 1 more point. And so what we're going to do is for each number, it's a half point for the band and a half point for the album. Okay. So
Thank God, by the way, we knew our own logo, because that
would have been bad.
That would have been. Anyways.
So the reason Adam's doing this
we're gonna
contest is because he's the one that created the logo, and Jim, Dan, and I were not privy to the actual bands. So this is all Adam's gig. Take it away, Adam.
Right. So we're going to see how well you guys do as a team, and then also battling each other for knowledge. So far, we've got 2 points for the team. I don't know if Jim, did you get AC/DC?
No, I did not.
Okay, so you keep track of your own score there. So we're going to show you. So here's the logo. Did anyone get number 9? The band.
Oh, I think I know the band.
Okay, go ahead and say it.
Dan, because he was raising his hand first.
Okay.
Oh,
is that how we're gonna do it?
That where you don't have to go like beep. I'm gonna go with old 97s on the band.
That is correct.
Oh,
And
great band.
the great band, and the album is Wreck Your Life.
Da-da-da. So Dan gets a full point for that. Did anyone else get Wreck Your Life?
Nice reveal.
I got neither of those, and I'm a huge old 97s fan.
Well, don't say huge because you're just going to embarrass yourself. So on to number 8.
I'm a nervous guy. Anyway,
this
go
might
ahead.
be the hardest one. I can't believe it.
I know.
And Sam knows it. What is it, Sam?
It's Elliott Smith, figure 8.
That is correct.
Oh, son of a really? Oh,
I'm a huge Elliott Smith fan.
I'm bigger. It looked so pink.
That was the easiest one for me.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
it is the easiest one.
Well,
really, I
no.
think that might be the one that people got wrong the most.
You know what my only guess was, which was obviously wrong and bizarre that it even came into my brain, was Scritti Politti, Cupid and Psyche 85.
85,
Wow.
yeah.
I was
know.
from that.
I
Totally
know
different
why you said
typeface,
that.
but yeah.
Yeah,
Well, because
I
the 8 kind of has a little bit of that like calligraphy-ish, but I knew it didn't go up like that.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, right in front of me was Elliott Smith. That's
I
embarrassing.
know.
Oh my
I don't know if I
God,
would have got
that's
it, and I love that album. So if that's any consolation.
Love that album.
Probably,
Now, number 7 is where we really separate the men from the boys, and I had to be super strict on this one because I knew that it was going to be a tight race, and sure enough, I had to be. So it's a little tricky. Does anyone know what artist number 7 is?
Is that purple? So I'm gonna guess Prince.
decent guess. My guess is that it's not an artist; it's a compilation.
Correct.
It clearly looks like of the 70s.
Yeah,
Correct. So if people didn't put a compilation or various artists, I'm not going to give them that half point because it was such a close race. So in this, for some people, it was nailing this one down. That was everything to do with it. So do you have any idea?
That makes sense because Vinyl Junkies would file it under various artists. Like you got to put it somewhere. That's how you.
And some people absolutely nailed the title, but didn't put that it was various artists, and I only gave them a half point for that because I got it. It was such a close race at the top.
it was that series, like the set, like
the
of
70s.
Time Life.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that. It was like there was I forget what it was off the top of my head, but it was like one of those ones I think that came out in like the late 80s or early 90s. I feel like I remember seeing it at like Amoeba or something like that. And it was like this something sounds of the 70s. We'll see it.
Very close.
I will say that I no longer feel bad about missing it if that's what it is.
Okay, yeah, this was probably the hardest one because if you didn't, do this. So here's the answer.
Smiley face.
Super hits of the 70s. Have a nice day.
There you go.
Specifically, volume 12. I thought I was going to be really, really strict on that because every cover is a different color.
Nice.
But I found out soon that there are ones that were just close enough and maybe it looked different on their screen. So I had to accept all. So there's volume 21. There's 20, that's the one I used. 12. Here's 21 and 10 and 11.
And what about 69?
One more and 1. So these were all pretty similar. And so if they put volume, any of those, I counted it. But if you didn't put a volume, I didn't count it because I figured if you're going to go that far into it and have super hits of the 70s, have a nice day. So that was the only one that I really had to be strict on. On we go to number 6, maybe the easiest one on here.
Well, yeah, 6 is a bummer.
Second easiest.
I would have gotten it anyways. I wish you had cut it off. You should have included a little more 9 and not included the band name. If I'm going to be a critic.
Yeah. You know what you should have done.com. Our sponsor for tonight. I have to agree. So what is the answer there?
The Magnetic Fields.
Great, Jim.
And the name of the album?
69 Love Songs. But is it one of the volumes? Do they change or is it the whole thing?
No, it's
there was
not.
There were like
12 songs on it. Let me tell you what those 12 songs are.
Could you rank them as you
These
go?
12 songs are sponsored.
I didn't think that was funny at all. I actually stopped breathing for a second.
All right, number 5. This is
yeah, I know now.
Okay,
I just got it right now.
B-52s. B-52s for sure.
That's the band, and what's the album?
The Same.
Yeah, it's self-titled. First album.
That is correct. But I was pretty sure there's one other answer, and I got to give points to Georgia Macy, who also said this one, Party Mix.
So,
God bless you, Georgia.
No extra points for that, but not extra points, but I love that she said that because definitely in there.
I love that.
All right, number 4. I didn't think a lot of people were going to get it.
Party Mix is in quotes too.
Georgia, thank you for your vote. Anyway, go ahead.
Yes, well done. You get the Spirit Award. Okay, number 4. I didn't think a lot of people were going to get, but almost everyone got it.
Love it. At first, it took me a while. I'm like, I've never seen 4 in my life, and then I was massively disappointed in myself. We've talked about it. It's one of the greatest best ofs of all time. It's Squeeze 45 Singles 45.
That is really correct.
Because it's just in the corner. It's such a different font than the main one you remember.
Mm-hmm. Well,
that's why I didn't remember it.
That is awesome. I am happy.
Okay. Number 3. Who's got number 3?
I think I know it.
Yeah, I got it too. Go ahead, Sam.
Okay,
Violent Femmes. Album's called 3.
That is correct. It's a good thing Jim didn't get it because we only went to see them on this tour, but I've never owned this album. Have you owned this album, Jim?
Never owned the album.
But I did have a shirt that I wore to school probably the next day that said
I remember you wearing that shirt.
3. Look what I did last night, everybody. I went to a concert. All right.
How many members in the band?
Yeah, exactly. All right, number 2.
It's funny because this one, the E in there looks like erasure.
No.
Almost. It
I
almost
thought
looks
that
like
too,
erasure.
but they would never use such horrific colors. Honestly, this one is
No, they would,
it's hideous looking. Like that font is terrible. I'm already heavily against this band, and I don't know who it is.
That's the Pet Sounds font for sure. That too, I think. But okay, so no one's gonna venture a guess on that. It sounds like I heard one guess, but
no.
But a bonk. Oh
my God!
It's erasure.
Oh, that's terrible looking.
That's so funny.
It's all
Oh,
right.
And the
Dan,
only
you look
reason
like
I-
an idiot right now.
The only reason
I'm
I
not
didn't
sure what
think
it is, but
was
it's definitely not erasure. I was like, oh really?
the only reason I didn't think it was is because of like the little almost like serif on the E on the very bottom part of the E, because I know that they typically use like sans serif stuff on the typeface, like you can see on the rest of
Wow, look at you.
Comic
And,
Sans.
look, I don't do compilations. I don't do best ofs. Like, I do the pure stuff. So
Good for
Jim,
you.
I think I still look really good here.
except for Squeeze 45 and Under, which is your favorite album.
Exactly.
God, that one's great.
it. Ooh.
That one's great.
All
There's
right.
an exception to every rule.
Okay, last one. Oh,
Yeah, we would have never gotten it anyways.
Never got it.
Can I take a stab?
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
The Beatles,
One.
number 1 hits.
That is
Number-
correct. That is
Number
correct.
one. Number one.
All right, kids. Well,
So who's the winner?
Well, I mean, I suppose that you guys are having so much fun that you didn't total up your own scores.
Oh, I
No.
can do really quick. I'm sure we can do it right now.
No,
I got 3.
no.
You
Any
can?
halves?
No, just
No.
3.
I got
Oh, wait, and a half. Yeah.
I got
Beatles.
13.
You- well, it's out of 11, but that's a good.
Oh, because they're half points. I was doing them as ones. Okay, then I got I was giving a point for each. It's just a different scale. I got 5.5, I guess. Then.
7.5, Dan.
Sam.
Or
Thank
hold
you.
on.
Yes, no 7. I got 7.
5.
Math is. I was told there'd be no math.
7, 8. If you're no, yeah, 7.
Okay.
We tied yet again. Sam and I tied again.
Nice. Well, we got a bunch of people submitting their answers. So thanks to everyone who submitted. At first, I was that guy at the party when no one's showing up, and I thought, oh, no one's even going to bother. But then the spam folder in Instagram was where they all were, and I didn't see them for like a day or two, and we had a ton. I think most of these people
Nice.
were regulars at Vinyl Junkies. So thanks all you guys. So we had a $40 gift certificate for the winner and a $25 gift certificate for the runner-up. There was a 3-way tie for second place. And what I said in the rules is whoever gets theirs in first gets that prize. So there was a 3-way tie with 9.5 points out of 11. And in that 3-way tie, the third person was Damian Zamora. The second person was Aiden Kadatz. And a first place or it goes to first place for second place, that is, goes to, I don't know if this is real name, Rye Dog Saul Dog, probably an Instagram name, but you get our 24 certificate, and clocking in 10 out of 11 points is Mr. Matthew Ferguson, who gets a $40 gift certificate.
Fergie.
Vinyl
Way to
Junkies.
go, Matthew.
Fergie.
Section of San Diego. Well done, you guys. I'm sure we'll be doing another one soon. These guys have actually seen a video that I put together that's going to be a really fun contest, probably like in 6 months or something, with some fun band logo stuff that I put together, and no one has seen it except for them, and it's going to be a fun
Woohoo!
So keep your eyes out for that, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Adam.